I just heard one of the worst campaign speeches ever. Bill Clinton went to Michigan. Out of all the places, the Harris campaign realized that there's over 100,000 uncommitted votes in Michigan and that they're at threat to lose that state. And if they do, they lose the election. So they figured, let's send as much firepower to Michigan. So they're going to Michigan to try to win over the Muslim vote. However, Bill Clinton's speech was absolutely terrible. Listen to just some of it. I'm going to bring you the whole speech. Listen to this madness.
It isn't how many we've had to kill, because Hamas makes sure that they're shielded by civilians. They'll force you to kill civilians.
Wow. Now, don't look at that number. The 20,000 children slaughtered, the 20,000 children that are missing and presumed slaughtered under the rubble, the hundreds of thousands innocent civilians that's been starved to death and slaughtered. That's just Gaza and the West Bank. And they're taking hostages where Israel will take just the men, women, hospital staff, lock them up, torture them, murder them. Never mind that number. Don't look at that number. He's in their state. Instead of trying to convince them how Kamala is going to help them, he's trying to convince them, no, it's not Israel's fault. It's your fault. Let me change your thinking by trying to convince you that, never mind that number. Never mind those civilians, because Hamas makes you murder them. How is that even possible? It's like Hamas come out, hey, here I am, murder me, and run into a building. See, we had to murder everyone, murder all of them. Also, let's come to this. Listen to what else he has to say.
In Israel, for their people being upset in the streets. This is far more complicated than you know. But Kamala Harris has said that she will try to negotiate an end to the violence, an end to the killing, and a new peace process. And that ought to be enough.
That ought to be enough. She said she's going to try, so y'all quit crying. She said she'll try. Accept it, and that should be enough for you people. How dare you try to criticize the Biden administration? Meantime, between time, we're going to continue sending them billions of dollars. We're going to continue sending you weapons to slaughter your people. But Harris will try, and that's enough. Quit crying. Quit complaining. How do you... And that's... You're trying to play... You're trying to play the people for idiots. We see exactly what you're doing. This ain't the 90s and the 80s where you don't have resources on the ground. Because that's why the Harris campaign, for a fact, they're trying to censor social media. So that they already got the mainstream media censored. So if you say anything against Israel on CNN, you're fired, and they're going to take that off the air, and you can't get the truth out there. If you go on my Twitter feed, you'll see all the children slaughtered. So now let's listen to what else he has to say.
And why young Palestinian and Arab Americans in Michigan think too many people have died. But if you live in one of those kibbutzim right next to Gaza, and Hamas butchered them, the people who criticize it are essentially saying, yeah, but look how many people you've killed in retaliation. So how many is enough for you to kill to punish them for the terrible things they did? That all sounds nice until you realize, what would you do if it was your family and you hadn't done anything but support a homeland for the Palestinians, and one day they come for you and say, well, you'll have to forgive me, I'm not keeping score that way.
I'm not keeping score that way. What are you talking about? No. If he's saying, hey, well, how would you feel if they, murdered your family? That's a disgusting ideology. You're saying that you want to slaughter hundreds of thousands innocent children? No, only you think like that. Only a maniac would think like that. I don't care if somebody slaughtered my family. If they was to say, hey, Donald, we got the murderer, but he's surrounded by 40,000 children. What do you want me to do? Nothing. What are you talking about? You want to slaughter hundreds of thousands? Oh, by the way, and adults are human shields. What about them starving children to death? Is that a human shield? What about them throwing innocent people in jail and torturing them and murdering them? Is that a human shield? Oh, and what about the West Bank? Have you thought about that? People are crazy. You're not helping, Clinton. You are not. All right, now let's hear what he's talking about Iran. Let's hear what he has to say about Iran.
Iran, a Shia state. The Hezbollah, a Shia sect. The Houthis, a Shia sect. Now with Hamas, a Sunni Arab operation, united in thinking the only thing that we have to do is run every Jew out of Israel.
No, first and foremost, nobody said that. These Iran, the Houthis, Hezbollah are trying to stop a genocide that you are causing. And you're trying to convince the people of Michigan that no, Iran's the problem. Hezbollah's the problem. They want to get rid of every Jew. Meantime, between time, you are slaughtering and actually doing the slaughtering and trying to and actually putting in plan and doing the extermination of every Arab, every Muslim, every Palestinian. You're actually doing it. And so what helps them sleep at night is to say, see, we had to do it, see, because they don't like us. Well, you're trying to convince the people of Michigan that, see, this happened on October 7th. See, October 7th started. But no, the people of Michigan already know this started in 1948. This been started. This is nothing new for them. They've lived this their whole life. And this is all they know. And they've been living in October 7th for 78 years. They've been carpet bombing Gaza for 78 years. They've been bombing and murdering Palestinians in the West Bank and taking land for 78 years. This is nothing new. And then you try to say, what do you do? What would you do if October 7th? Well, they've lived October 7th since 1948, somewhere around there. So let's start there. If you want to get, so what would you do if you, and the only lives you're considering is the Israeli lives. You haven't even considered the Palestinian lives. You haven't even asked, hey, well, I you know what I'm saying, okay, cool, well, what, he's trying to convince them, don't look at that number.
Well, I got news for them. They were there first. Before there was, their faith existed, they were there. In the time of King David, and the southernmost tribes had Judea and Samaria.
See, my book says Jews were there. So they have the right to go back and slaughter the Palestinians. They got the right to take all the land. So what are you Muslims talking about? What are you crying about? Let it go. We're working hard, providing weapons and providing intelligence and providing money for them to slaughter the Palestinians. So relax and let it go. So I'm here to convince you that you are the idiots. My book says that, okay, so in that ideology, the Indians were here first. So do you think that Indians have the right to come and slaughter everybody? Massacre everybody? Is that what you're saying, Bill Clinton? Because that ideology don't make any sense. You think they could come? You're saying they are there first. And which they was not. I don't understand where you get that from. That helps them sleep at night. So they figure, okay, whatever helps them sleep at night, let me tell myself that, they were there first. They was not. It was Palestine. Israel's, after the Holocaust, they said, we're going to take this Muslim land. We're going to put Jews that were from all over Europe. We're going to just put them in this land. And we're going to slaughter the people that's on the land, push them into a small. Then Bill Clinton's going to say, see, I had a peace deal, so since you didn't take it up, see, it's your fault. We need to slaughter more of you, take more land, see? And that is the Israeli talking points that they literally want people to believe. Is that, oh, see, we gave you a horrible peace deal, and since we said it's good, you should think it's good, and since we want you to take it, you should take it, and since you didn't take it, slaughter all of them. See? Let's grab this little child. Let's convince these kids, see, it's your fault. Your people's fault, so they should slaughter all of you and accept it. Michigan, if y'all would do anything, if y'all want to win that state. Now, instead of meeting with the uncommitted movement, instead of meeting them where they're at, instead of trying to see and understand where they're coming from, you're trying to change their point of view. You're trying to convince them that, no, it's you that's crazy. Anyway, it's not going to be well for Michigan. I don't think they're going to win that state. It's in no way. Anyway, make sure you guys like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this video. Peace, y'all.
City on fire, ooh, down to the wire. It's my life in the shy. Ooh, it's my life in the shy.